That should look good, right? Everybody's in there? All right, so
Chefs of the future, what the fuck?
Chefs of the Future, CLF Nation. As you can see, I got a packed house with me today. We're in a different location. If you follow the show for any amount of time, make sure you comment, subscribe, join the conversation down below. Now look, I'm here with a first timer, so I'm gonna start off with you. Now, you was in the documentary, right? But nobody knows who you are, right? My man Chris, if you want to introduce yourself first.
I've been cooking since I was about 19. Wanted to be a cook since I was 9.
You always participate in the comments. You always join in the conversation. Yo, Freddy, what's good, bro?
Honestly happy to be back, and seeing as I got another year before I get my bachelor's to, you know, actually be able to indulge in the knowledge and actually get to experience this kind of stuff is crazy. So coming back is a real good feeling, I'm not gonna lie. So great to see how this turns out.
So look now, Josh, Team Josh. Look, you're back. You called into the show. You've been here since day one, bro. Continuing to pull up, for just being a part of that, for putting up with my crap, for, you know.
Thank you for having me again.
Today, we're gonna talk about processed foods. We cook, you know, hundreds of dollars worth of plates. You know, we cook $100 plate of food easily.
Yeah.
You understand? Every single night. Now, what do we go home to ourselves? Man, I go home and I'm eating something from the bodega, you know?
Yeah.
That honey turkey hit, like, different. So it's like, Fred, right? I know this is something that you're passionate about. You know, you're taking this up in school that we was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And you're going to continue your education down this path. Now, processed foods, bro. Oh, what's your relationship with processed food?
Nothing hits better than home cooking. Like, I'm gonna keep it honest. Like, you go home to a home cooked meal made with love, it just doesn't hit the same.
Mm-hmm.
You could be thinking about anything else under the sun, but you go home to a home cooked meal, and I promise it's not the same, man.
Yeah.
And it's a different kind of love, and I promise that every single one of us, like the viewers as well, can appreciate that kind of stuff.
Now let me ask you real quick. Is that because of the love factor? Like, is that because like the person who made it, right? And the convenience of you eating in your house, you know, you just took a shower. Like, it's a lot of factors that you have to take all of the, you have to, but what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying? You have to take your judgment in that meal with a little asterisk. Like, listen, you know, all of these things have to contribute into what meal you ultimately say is better.
Yeah.
You know, if you eating a filet mignon cooked by, you know, Gordon Ramsay at 6 o'clock and you come home to some lasagna that, you know, your loved one made, you like, that lasagna probably still, it's gonna be stupid fire, but.
Honey, can you do the dishes? Yes, chef.
Yeah, come on. You understand? It's like, that's what I'm trying to say. What's your relationship with processed foods? How do you feel about processed foods being in our diet as food service professionals, people that get paid to cook for people for a living?
I mean, for me, it's definitely probably an unhealthy part of my diet, but it's there. And
Yeah, a health factor is something we didn't talk about.
and one, it's cheap. It's already made. I don't have to go home after cooking for hundreds of people, almost thousands on some days, you know. And, you know, you just don't want to cook at that point. So to just be able to grab something and get out of there. Or have it at home, frozen, like we said. Like, for me, it was Uncrustables. That was my go-to. Kind of is my go-to.
With the peanut butter and jelly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's gotten a little bit more expensive. So, so kind of just like,
It takes out one of the factors of price,
yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
that was one of the factors, deciding factors of eating unhealthy, right? And that's something that's always brought up in debates of, you know, why choosing to eat unhealthy based on eating healthy. And I think it's something like 6 out of 10 people, I think the statistic is, right, is people say it's price. You know, it's just cheaper to get 4 number 4s than it is to get the ingredients that it would cost for me to make 4 chicken sandwiches
Yeah.
for 4 individuals.
Yeah.
You know, being that I didn't have any of the ingredients. Let's say I didn't have pickles, cheese, bread, you know, mayo. Bro, now you're talking about a healthy investment where you could have spent maybe a third of that, you know, maybe 3/4 of that, right? And come out with the same result. 3 fucking chicken sandwiches and some fries. Like,
But think about it, just buying chicken from the grocery store, like,
flour, right? Eggs, like you gotta bread it. Nah, you're talking. Look, come on. We're talking from a blank slate, right?
Along with the versatility of like the foods as well, it makes it just a lot more difficult.
Now you do have leftovers,
Yeah.
right? That's a benefit. But is it repurposable with leftovers? Let's say the person buys the 5-pound bag of flour, right, and uses the whole 5-pound bag of flour to do 3 pieces of chicken. Right? But you get what I'm saying? Like, they just pour the whole... What processed foods do you find yourself, like, gravitating towards?
As a college student, I feel like this is a little stereotypical, but definitely ramen.
Okay.
You know, so like,
Yeah, look,
and it's
cool,
a
let's
particular
have
type
it.
of ramen. It's a shim ramyun. I'm pretty sure it's a Korean type of ramen. Shit is gas.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah.
You know? So if anyone hasn't had it, try
What is it called?
It's fire. It's shim ramyun.
동심신라면
Yeah, no.
I
it's
think we
fire.
sell like OD. That's funny.
Yeah, no, it's so fire. One of my favorite go-tos personally. And then there's also, not to be that person, but on my real lazy days when I'm real tired, instant mashed potatoes. When you're living in a dorm, it's a lot of instant stuff, a lot of quick go-to thing because you don't have a lot of room. Usually you don't have a lot of space when you're not living in a larger shared common area to have one kitchen utensils, the storage to hold these goods, like where are you going to keep fresh vegetables, you know, chicken breasts, all these stuff. Like unless you're coming fresh out of lab with me and some of my classmates, you really aren't making or holding any of these goods with you. So like, what are you really gonna put in your mini fridge? I wouldn't think 2 nice, you know, fried chicken cutlets for your next sandwich. So you know,
That do sound fire though.
it does sound fire, but you know,
that probably wouldn't even last a night.
nah.
Yeah.
Big thing about some of these instant things or like even processed foods, like it's definitely the simplicity behind it that I feel give a lot of people comfort and appreciation to, on top of, you know, the low cost that coincides with those foods. So it's like a comforting feeling all around, just like getting, you know, what I said before, a home cooked meal. It's quick, it's fast, it's reassuring, and it's something you're doing on your own. So it's like you're kind of like, after whether it's been a long day, a stressful day, whatever, sometimes it brings you back, and it's a good feeling. So like,
Something
understandable, yeah. It's like a nice cup of, you know, hot chocolate after a cold day, you know. It's good every, you know, on those snowy days, but not every day.
Okay, real quick. Hot chocolate, water, or milk?
Milk.
Whoa! Whoa!
fight me.
3-1. Am I the only one that use water? What?
Nah, my wife doesn't.
All right. See, come on. Like, y'all just have milk laying around? Like, what? Like, to
I
like,
make sure when I have hot chocolate,
No,
I
you
make
gotta have
sure
a cow.
So
You just gotta have a cow on deck, man.
like
No, I make sure I have milk when I have hot chocolate.
but that's,
You don't
Yo.
drink milk. That's just that.
okay. Look, I fuck with chocolate milk. Look,
There
I
are
fuck with
milk
chocolate milk.
too.
Chocolate milk was fire. Like, chocolate milk was fire. Come on. You think I didn't have 2 cartons at lunch, my nigga? Like, come on. Chocolate milk is fire. Now, that other shit? Hell no. like regular milk by itself, like white milk, I haven't drunk a cup of that shit in like, honestly, like 4 years. Like, just straight up, I'm a guzzler. No. But I don't really eat cereal. You know, that's my thing too. Like, that's not a thing I do. So I guess I would consume more milk that way too. So I don't have a reason to have milk in my house. So I always use water. That make me weird.
No, because it's just more convenient. Because otherwise, you would have to buy it literally just to have it for hot chocolate. on the off chance that you want it one day, you know.
No, but what if you like really like milk? What if you just
I do.
You just drink regular milk,
I
because
do.
you like it.
I do.
You just keep a gallon. Yeah, I seen you.
Yeah.
You just buy two. You
Yeah.
just keep 2 gallons on deck.
Yeah.
Not too.
Not two. Not two.
My personal
too.
preference, almond milk. That's just me though.
Now let me ask you: whole milk or 2%? I think there's
If I'm,
bro, unless you're an infant, there's no reason to drink whole milk, bro. What human needs whole milk?
Whole milk makes really good milk chocolate milk.
Bro, there's no human that needs whole milk. Why do you need whole milk as a grown individual? Unless you're an infant that needs like calcium to grow, there's no reason to drink whole milk. For what? Look, a grown individual that's not going through puberty, like, bro, 2% or less, like 2%, 1% or no fat, man. That's it. Why? But look, is that weird? You never heard that before?
I have the fat free on deck, but on a scale of how much I would prefer it, I would prefer whole milk just for the taste. 2% is on the bottom because I don't know. There's not really that much of a difference between 2% and fat free.
Would you see? If I had to drink milk, I'm drinking 2%. So, milk, I guess.
Milk.
Personally, I don't like drinking milk. It's not my thing. So, normally when I have it, I don't drink chocolate milk either. Not my forte. Hot chocolate on the rare occasion. I'm more of a tea guy. But what I definitely will say is like I prefer almond milk. One, it's cool because I've made it myself. I made it in my house. I've made it in school. I made it with my friends. It's a cool process. It's easy. It doesn't take a long time, and it's like also gives you more of an appreciation for the things that you do and the stuff that you eat. So like, and you're also getting to see the process in which it happens, and it's cool.
Almond milk. Yeah, I like almond milk.
I like it too.
And almond milk holds really well. Like you can keep a gallon of almond milk in your crib like a month and a half, and it'll still be Gucci.
And that's the crazy part is you could turn it into almond butter as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love almond butter.
I never thought about that. I never thought about that. We should talk about that.
Yep.
I want to do that.
I'll bring a gallon when I can to work.
I like the Nutri-Grain sweet and salty with almond butter.
So milk, real quick. Talk about milk.
Oh,
Milk.
Milk. Okay. I love milk.
See, we need you in this conversation. You're gonna be the savior for milk. Everybody bashing on it.
But where I grew up, milk was just fire. The milk in Jamaica.
Oh yeah. What's good with milk in Jamaica?
The shit. It is the shit. Oh man. And you gotta drink it fast because it doesn't last long because it doesn't have all that stuff added to it.
Uh-huh.
And it's a little thicker and a little creamier.
What?
Yeah.
A little more texture.
Yeah, but it's good.
You gotta chew it a little.
No, not that thing.
Yeah, you gotta chew it a little.
No, but
You
it's
look at the local farmers and the local restaurateurs, like the small ones, the very small ones, who do farm to table or grown their own goods or bake their own pastries and take that like extra step that show that love and have that more intimate passion with their food. It stands out and it really sits with people. And like you could look at it at places in the city or even mom and pop shops down in the countryside. You go all the way to places like Nashville, Tennessee, Texas, you go to California, and I promise you that there are the hearts and soul of these places where you got people who love what they do more than anything. And when they put, head and foot first into, cooking and doing all they love, growing that food, you actually get to spend time and you sit there and like as a consumer get to appreciate all the steps taken to get to that point for you to have that meal. It gives a certain level of gratitude to yourself and that process. And it's like now you want to help yourself and others around you. And I feel like that's probably one of the greatest things about the food world because it's not just help yourself, but it's help yourself help others too.
So that's called hospitality. You know, that's something you can't teach, but that's something that you was alluding to throughout your entire, you know, thing. It was like that's in you, right? You know, it's interesting that while you were speaking, I was thinking back on something I was reading from, what's his name, Denzel Washington, right? And he was saying the most selfish thing you can do is to be selfless. Meaning that if you like to have the best feeling you've ever felt in your life, right? That most selfish feeling, that scratchy, most inner itch, is to give as much to other people and do as much as you can, feasibly, realistically. You know what I'm saying? Without hurting yourself, but like that would be the most selfish thing you could do.
In my opinion, I feel like it definitely, when you watch, especially when you go to things like hibachi, for example, where you get to see the experience, it's crazy. Yo, everybody takes their videos, everybody loves getting, you know, a little bit of, you know, sake squirted in their face or whatever for like 2 seconds. The little onion ring of fire, it's all great experience. And that's something you just can't replicate. But at the same time, you want to be able to do these kinds of things at home and have that kind of fun, enjoyable experience with every meal you have. Because guess what? Like, the same food that you're putting in your body is the same food that you're going to use to take that energy, go do your work the next day, keep about your business, and so on and so on. And it's like, you don't want to be eating the food that makes you feel worse than you did before you had it. And it's like, to watch people, see people like us do what we love and then be able to give them something that makes them feel even better than they did walking in is an amazing feeling that I'm sure I feel like most people would love to share with any one of their crafts. Like, you see a mechanic, they're dirty as hell when the car is looking mint. You know, like, you see a brand new, you see like a brand new Bugatti looking mint and the mechanic all dirty as hell. But he put in the work and you see the results and it makes you appreciate all that much more. So like,
now let me ask you: would you trust a mechanic that came out spotless? But like your car was humming, like like nothing was wrong, like it's mint, like he fixed it, like you get what I'm saying? But he just done it flawless.
No, he just switched the cars.
Oh, he just switched his car.
yeah, he probably just switched the cars at that point.
So
He was in the back looking at the cameras.
that's hilarious. You're like, nah, you wasn't the person working on it. Poppy worked on that, but you didn't.
The other guy's passed out in the back there because he just works on your car.
Yeah. Yeah, I trust the guy sleeping. You see him? Yeah. So look, closing statements, right, on the processed foods, right? And even if you want to like negate it, if you want to in defense of it, right, you can totally go down that route. It's to close out
I mean,
the processed foods conversation.
it's not healthy, but it's cheap and it's ready. And you know, if you're trying to make food at home, you're spending how much on an onion that you're only going to use maybe half of for something, and then put it on your freezer door or your fridge and like it's just gone
Yeah.
in like 3 days. Stuff just doesn't last as long when you get it from the grocery store as when you do from the kitchen.
You know what? I'm glad you keep hinting on this, right? Because you keep bringing it back down to the fundamentals, which is, look, the price point, availability, and these are real factors, right, that we have to contribute. So look, let's put everything into perspective, right? I'm a single man, right? You're a married man. You have other people that you take responsible for, other people you feed, you know, others, a whole house full of, you know, responsibilities and shit. Like, we have to contribute that, right?
Yeah.
Into the decision making, you know, what a person would choose to eat, right? Based on, you know, their living factors, the capacity within their life, you know, within their household, and all of that, you know, where they're at even, you know, in the fucking city. I could be on the east side, you could be on the west side, and just the availability, right? What highlights areas in which it's difficult for people to get proper nutrition. I'm not talking about food to eat. I'm talking about actual, like, substantial nutrition. Do they have, like, you know, fresh produce available? within like their price range, and is it financially competitive with the dollar menu at the fast food restaurant? You understand? So all of these, and then when you have a parent that's working 2 jobs, right, or 2 parents that's working 2 full-time jobs, that's what's the likelihood of them coming home and cooking for their kids, right?
Right.
3 kids. And what's the likelihood of somebody in college having the space in their dorm to exactly, to properly to hold it, What's the likelihood of somebody that works a full-time job, right, and that comes home at 1:30 at night to not disturb their roommates and, the people they lived with and all of this. Look, these are real factors, right? We live in the real world, bro. This is why this show exists, to be honest with you, to have these conversations, to unlift the veil between the people that cook the food and the people that eat, right? And everything that entitles, which is having these conversations.
Giving a level of like transparency, I feel like, and it's like, yeah, I know, especially with the culinary world, not everything's pretty and not everything's perfect. And when you get down to the nitty gritty, it's not the best, and it's not for everybody, and that's fine. But that's what we're here for, and that's cool. And I'm fine with that. I'm happy about that. But it's like, I still feel like it's essential that we have that transparency with the people who, we want to consistently please. The people who are our loyal, dedicated customers, our viewers, whether they're listeners as a musicianist or an artist at any of the sorts. It's like when you commit to a craft and you have people commit to your love of that craft, that's a whole nother perspective to just sit on, and I feel like it's real dope.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
To have those people that constantly come back, and that's like, look, I'm willing to participate in this conversation, and I'm willing to take 3 minutes out of my life. You get what I'm saying? When we just talked about all the responsibilities that life has and life throws at you, to sit down and be like, look, I'm gonna research this because this is something that I feel like is authentic. Like an authentic thing that's trying to be formed, and like people that's really trying to put a message out. Like, look, yeah, that cooking stuff, that cooking school, right? They're gonna teach you all of that, but are they gonna teach you the approach on how to show up to that job year in and year out? You understand? They'll teach you all that book stuff, right? You learn everything, all the pan sizes and all the cooking cut dimensions and all of that, right? And that's fun and all that's great, right? But will they teach you the discipline of dealing with superiors that are out for you? You get what I'm saying? Or management that doesn't care for you as a person? You follow? And how do you differentiate your love for the kitchen and your need to be a family man, or your need to focus on your body? You understand? These are the questions that plague us as food service workers, as hospitality workers. And there's millions of them.
One thing I have to say for anybody who's like a part of the younger generation looking to get into this, just stay curious. Keep looking, keep learning, and keep finding what you love. And I promise you, somewhere along the line, you'll find it.
Well said.
Yeah.
Josh, bro, anything you want to say before we get up out of here, man? My man, Team Josh, you're going to be on the show, man.
Thank you.
You was quiet
to all
today.
the fans.
You was quiet today.
I was pretty quiet today, yeah. I was still absorbing all the information.
Yeah.
It was just, got mad people here.
Yeah.
It's just ideas bouncing back and forth. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to say this. And then he says something else. I'm like, oh, I'm going to say that. And that's gone. That thought is absolutely gone.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's always a blast being back here. And can't wait to do it again soon.
Thank you again, man.
Yeah.
And we out it.